One day I woke up and I finally stopped waiting for permission or for someone to approve the life that I wanted. Welcome to Pages of Her. We are in page 8. Come along on the journey. I can't tell you the exact time. I don't even know what I was wearing, what I was doing. But to be honest, one day, I realized that I keep having these ideas and thoughts in my head of how I want my life to be. And it got to be the point where I was just so sick of the hamster wheel life, working, paying off bills, doing this, doing that. And I thought I was living, right? Like I thought I was living a life that I wanted because I had a roof over my head and I was able to buy a cup of coffee whenever I wanted to or go out to eat whenever I wanted to. It's really not what I strive to do. Like I now in my age and the experiences that I now have ideas of grandeur, if you will, right? I have ways and thoughts of thinking and things that I want to accomplish and to achieve that I didn't even fathom 5 years, 10 years ago, like at all. There was no big explosion. There was no aha moment. I just think that after living a few years and experiencing different things and being able to listen to other people and see how they think and see what their lives are, why can't I do that? Why can't I have that? I think at one point, I think I might have said this in one of my previous pages, but I think at one point I was shrinking and not trying to shrink. I just was. I don't think I spent them shrinking because I wanted to shrink. Of course, no one wants to shrink. Most of us don't want to shrink. But I think for me, when you grow up the way I grew up, you are raised to survive your environment. You're raised to figure out a way how to go from today to the next day to the next day, keeping your job, literally living hand to foot to mouth. Oh, that's a disease. Hand and foot disease. Hand and mouth and foot disease. I'm a nurse. I should know this, but I'm not a peds nurse and have not been a peds nurse. But anyway, my point is being raised to survive. You don't realize how often you ask for permission. And it's not like, hey, may I, right? It's not one of those types of permissions, but it's like a permission to take up space, permission to be a part of something, permission to be powerful, soft, helpful, graceful, whatever the case may be. It was one of those things that I realized that I was doing unknowingly. Growing up, dark skinned, skinny girl, I barely weighed over 115 pounds for like my entire middle school, high school life. I'm barely 145 pounds now. It's like one of those things where you've always been skinny, you've always been dark skinned, you've always been quiet, and then you feel like you can't exist because of how shunned you were growing up, and you start to carry those burdens, those ideas of how people see you into your adulthood. And now, like, when you feel like you've been invisible for far too long, it's like you just start asking people permission to even exist. And I think that for me, going through those different instances in my life, I started to carry those feelings and things into adulthood. Is that good? No, it's not good. And I don't wish that upon anybody. Like as an adult, I would carry, am I doing too much? Should I speak up here? If I say something here, they might get upset. Or should I not say anything? But if I don't say anything, they might think I don't like them, I don't care. And then like your mind starts going and traveling throughout different spaces, and you're just like, oh my goodness, like what? Why? I just want to be, I just want to live, I just want to breathe. I don't feel like having to go through a whole freaking 10-minute monologue in my head just to have a conversation with people. Now, y'all, it is time for me to be like, okay, enough waiting, enough shrinking, enough feeling like, oh, I don't matter, my thoughts and my opinions don't matter, waiting for someone to say it's okay for me to exist. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Like, I've said this plenty of times before. I am married. I've been married for almost 5 years, and the relationship is one of those that is different. It has been different since day one. And it took me a while to realize that I am worthy, I deserve this, I deserve happiness, I deserve to be me 100% wholeheartedly without trying to put on, a different face, without having to, not even face like makeup wise, because your girl don't do that. Shout out to y'all who do. I just don't know how. I'm just not gifted with that, and I'm okay with that. But just a different face of personality, who you are in front of one person, you may be different around another person. Like, I think now I'm able to look back and say, dang, I did that. Like, I've overcame a lot of my inner thoughts of who I am or who I thought I was, and it helped me grow into the person you're seeing before you. Come to look, y'all, I'm trying to tell you, never in a million years would I've thought that I would be doing what I'm doing now. The thing is, I realized that nobody was going to hand me my permission slip, if you will, to build the woman that I wanted to become. There was no blueprint per se. There are people in social media or in the entertainment industry that I think of as beautiful, graceful women. When I think of Miss Felicia Rashad, when I think of her sister Miss Debbie Allen, when I think of Miss Viola Davis and Miss Angela Bassett, and these different people, these different powerhouses, I'm like, wow. I don't know if they putting on for all of us when they're off the screen. I don't know, but I realize that there is an aura around them that I enjoy seeing. I enjoy seeing a grown woman handling her business respectfully, passionately, purposefully, with a beautiful husband that's supporting them throughout that time, and they're supporting their husband in their endeavors. Like, that is something that I strive to have. And then when I look back on my journey, it's 2025, right? Almost 2026. When I look back on my journey in 2035 and I look back 10 years previous, I'm going to say, dang, like, this is what I was talking about. This is what I want. I wanted to be able to do X, Y, Z, and I've done X, Y, Z and more. But it all starts somewhere. And my start was me not asking people for permission to just be. I decided to take the what is it called? The reins. Take the reins. Yeah, I decided to take the reins of my life and turn it every kind of way that I want it to be. But I'm doing it through the guidance of God. I'm doing it through the guidance of God, because I've spoken to God so many times on so many different occasions on what I desire for my life. And then I've even had to change my verbiage, change my terminology to say, hey, well, God, what is your purpose for me in my life? And help me to become aligned to that. And no matter how many people see these videos that I'm doing, whether it's my beautiful 45 people that sees it and my 4 subscribers as of today, or 400,000 people see it and my 400 million subscribers, I don't know if that's a thing, but whatever. Like, I'm still gonna show up how I show up no matter what. I did a breakout session at a conference, a nursing conference, back in early November of this year. And when I tell you, the organization was behind schedule, like almost 45 minutes. So it cut into the first round of the breakout session speakers time. And so when they finally broke, from the big initial ceremony, and it was time for them to really go into the breakout sessions, with so much time had elapsed, they were over scheduled. I don't think the attendees really knew that they were still carrying on the first round of sessions, because they were technically almost over with, probably like 15-20 minutes left in like an hour or some change breakout session. But when I tell you, I had 2 people show up, And I spoke to those 2 people as if I had 200 people in the room. And my coworker, well, actually, I'm going to say she's my friend. She came to support me and to record me. And she was like, so I had made that announcement in the beginning when there was just one person in the room that I was going to be doing this and speaking to the whole room. Da, da, da. So she knew, right? But then maybe a few minutes after I started, the second person came in and she sat down. So when I was going like this, mind you, they're all sitting on my left-hand side. So when I was going like, and da, 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 and what about this? And what about that? And she looking like, who's she talking to? My colleague or my friend was like, you probably should have told her you was doing that because she probably thought she was crazy. I was like, oh, my bad. But again, it's showing up and walking in in your purpose, the purpose that God has set for you. So I'm speaking up these days. I believe that I'm shining. I believe that I am being ambitious. I believe that I'm walking in faith. My husband gave me a beautiful, it's literally, it looks almost like a locket. It's not a locket, but it looks like a locket. And at first I thought it was one of those lockets where you open it up, you put your grandma's picture in there, or, something like that. And then he was like, oh, did you see what it was? I was like, yeah. So yes, it's a picture locket. He was like, no, it's not. It's a mustard seed. And I was like, what? It's a mustard seed? Let me see this real quick. So I kind of had it in my hand. So I turned around, I cut the light on because that was in the dark. I cut the light on, I was like, oh, it is a mustard seed. I literally thought that was like an error, if you will. Because I saw it, but I didn't think anything of it. And it came with a card that had Matthew on there, and I think it had John as well. The verses about having faith as small as the size of a mustard seed. So, but for whatever reason, I didn't connect the dots. And so when I looked at it again, I cried like a little girl. I cried like a little baby. Do you hear me? Because I'm going through so many emotional roller coasters and so many things right now that I can't even get into. One of them, I said in one of my previous videos that I am over $200,000 in debt. That it actually makes me upset. It actually pisses me off when I think about it, but I know it's meant for a greater purpose. The reasons why I became in debt and what I was trying to accomplish is really for a higher purpose. So one day I'm going to talk about like the ins and outs of that. One day I will. I got to get over that hump. And then one day I'll be like, okay, y'all, all right, tune in, listen, let's pack it up. Let's go ahead and unpack this. Not pack it up, let's unpack this. This is a reminder that you don't need permission to live. You don't need permission to dream, to grow, to build, to be you. Your life belongs to you. Well, your life belongs to God, but y'all get what I'm saying. Your healing belongs to you. Your words belongs to you, and this next chapter of your life belongs to you. So I encourage you guys to take your life by the reins. I don't know what that was. Take your life by the reins, turn that next page, and write your story. Until the next page, keep growing. Oh, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Please drop something down below. Y'all know, like I feel like I'm like a little record when I say this. I like to read comments on people's pages. When I get to that point when I can read my own comments, I'm like, oh my gosh. So go ahead, drop whatever you want. Your experiences, your thoughts, your opinions, how you feel about changing your narrative, not asking for permission, whatever the case may be. I would love to read it. All right. Again, until the next page, keep growing. Peace.